I know I'm due for an upgrade because our files are so large that they won't fit on my phone or the laptop. So, when this new PC is built, best believe the content will get even 10 times better. Now, the point of today's video was and is to help artists find ways to make money. Not just find ways, but start moving in ways that will attract you money. This comes from things that I've applied, things I've done, and also things that are not just theory, but things that have worked for other artists that I'm reaching towards and soon to experience. So, it's your host, Rodrigo. Host. I'm still in podcast mode. It's Rodrigo. You see the channel name. Whew. I don't have to introduce myself. You need to go through the past videos to learn more about me, or just comment them in the section for comments, and I'll get into that. So let's get straight into this video. The first known way of making money. This is in no order, by the way. Not from common knowledge to deepest, not from best to worst. It's just a collection. First, we have being paid to perform in a show. This could be as an opener, which is less usual if you ask me, and a headliner. When you are in demand and you can definitely get a crowd to engage and stay, buy drinks, and come back the next week, you are the type of artist that will get paid to open or headline simply because you're an asset, not just because your music is good. Don't get me wrong, that's vital. But an asset is someone who helps their business as well. So yes, it's helping your business as far as popularity, reach, and money, but it's because you're helping them in turn. That's a law of success. You have to help others to be helped. Help others achieve what you're desiring to achieve that quicker for yourself. Next is hosting your own show. If you ask me, this is more difficult, but depending on the circumstances, you have a way higher upside. So I'll put it like this. Let's say you're an artist with under 1,000 monthly listeners. Chances are you are not going to be getting paid in the thousands to open and headline for shows, whether it's an actual concert venue, whether it's a bar, a club. It's not likely to happen. Because of that, the cap is smaller. So an artist in that same position, under 1,000 monthly listeners, can host their own show. And that opens up a different door, which means they need connection to other artists who can fill the place, who do have good music, and who are willing to either perform with you, for you, or they like the compensation that they're getting. Now with that, you have the chance to take home dang near 98% profit. And that's all the ticket sales, considering you paid a deposit on the venue, so that all the money that you made in ticket sales go to you. They keep the bar sales, you keep the ticket sales, and on every ticket you have to pay $2 or $3 to the performance rights organization. The venue that I've dealt with is willing to do that for you so that you don't have to, take time to do the math or send away a certain portion of your money to the PRO organizations, the PROs. That's important because that can get you caught up down the line. So if you're hosting, you have to do things the right way. I say that because it's not what you do is how you do it. So if you're in an early stage and you genuinely just need money, momentum, and motion, and you have connections, you have a DJ, you have the money for a deposit, and you are confident that you guys can sell out a show, that's for you. I'm not gonna say anything too high. I'll just be real. You can get over $15,000 in one night. And that's after you break bread to artists. That's after you break bread to the PROs. That's after you get your deposit back from the venue, which in circumstances that I've dealt with is the case. You pay that 1,000. If they reach their quota on the bar, you will receive that 1,000 back on top of all the profits you make from that night. Think. So $1,000 and some connections and commitment to planning a great night can leave you with 30K in one night. Now, I'm not limiting how much money you can make. The bigger the venue, the more heads you can get in there, the more drinks being sold, the more revenue for you. I'm glad we got past that one, because that's a good one. Next is the one everyone knows about, royalties, streaming. The way this works basically is every time your song gets played on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, when you have your things lined up, and everything you could think of, really, you get paid. I'm not sure if it's a penny or a fraction of a penny. That depends on your distributor, the deals you have, and other things, whose cut is also linked in with your song. So if you get a very, very tiny portion of your own song because of the way that certain things are structured, that'll affect your streams. So streams are important because, one, they show the engagement on a song. Two, they drive more engagement to a song. When people see streams, or streams are constantly going to one song, it'll push it to the top of any algorithm, meaning that's more fans, more money. And this is something I did not list, but it opens the door to being signed by publishing organizations, record labels, anybody who can use the momentum that you already have and professionalize it. That's essentially what they do. They get you into places that you wouldn't be able to get into by yourself, or that you wouldn't really have the leverage to by yourself. Or that's what they need you to think. In a lot of circumstances, you do have that leverage to do it yourself. I was listening to a Russ interview. He said the same people that said no to the record labels for certain opportunities said no to him. Meaning the same people that said yes to the record labels for certain opportunities pertaining him also said yes to him when he was by himself. So record labels are good if you genuinely need I don't want to say foundation, but a foundation who you're willing to let into the cut so that they can direct your moves and honestly help you, because they do a service. Record labels have a bad reputation sometimes, but it's a service. They're doing you a service. You're doing them a service by adding to their catalog. They're helping your catalog go further. And the advances that they're paying you can help your current situation more than the little moves that you bust can. Sometimes. So, record labels, be smart always. Look through your contract with the AI. If you can't afford a music lawyer, look through it with every AI you have. Say, break it down to me like I'm a 12th grader, like I'm a 9th grader. Ask questions. Now, that's where we will stop on that note. That was royalties, streaming mixed with record deal. Sync placement. No, we skipped one. Sponsorships. Okay. Sponsorships is really a brand or a business notices that you are getting traction. That, or they notice that you represent something they stand for and you can drive more business to them. The way to do that is cleaning up your image, being more professional, reaching out to more places, and having music that can fit more vibes, that can fit more stories, that can be used to put other people's businesses in context or in a better light. So basically, the more you can help others through who you are or what you put out, the more sponsorships that you're likely to get from businesses and brands, whether that's food, clothes, shoes, what else? Even car dealerships. You know, it's a very extensive world of sponsorships. Sync placements. There's a lot of money in sponsorships as well. Don't let me skip over the money in sponsorships. It really depends heavily on your leverage as an artist. So if a post, when I post and I'm in front of Raising Cane's Chickens and they've sponsored me, that is going to make all my fans think of Raising Cane's Chicken. So when they get hungry and there's some in the area and they remember, I was just like, hey, this hit different, man. When y'all listening to my music, make sure y'all come get some Raising Cane's Chicken and tell them that Rodrigo sent you. Something that simple. That might bring them 20,000 new customers in the first day, and they can track that through metrics. So a case like that is going to be worth more money in a sponsorship than a local artist who, oh, this is good. Y'all come out here. He gets 20 likes in a week, and nobody comes. And he doesn't even have a name for people to be like, yo, yeah, he sent me. They just forget about it. That's the value of being professional and being to that standard. Sync placements is, this is the thing I like about sync placements. It's not in that same realm because you don't need fans. You don't need a bunch of engagement besides for yourself to be noticed for these sync placements anyways. I say that because a sync deal depends heavily on your music. How well does the vibe fit this show? How well does it fit this credit scene? How well does it fit this chase scene? How well does it fit these moments of passing time in films or movies? And that is important because they make a lot of money in shows and movies. Meaning the money that they give out is also going to be big because you're playing a big role. Music is important. It sets the vibe. It sets the stage. It sets the standard for what people are watching, for how they're supposed to be feeling. So to do that, you either reach out to people who are in positions to place your music in these films or movies, meaning film directors, I lost it. It's reaching out. Do your own due diligence. Search it up on Google. Search it up on AI. Search it up on Safari. Ask musical friends of yours. Just say, what can I do? I guarantee you, you know somebody who can get you closer than you thought. You're just not using all your resources. If you go through and text every one of your contacts, see everybody you have on Instagram who will text you back, and you hit everybody up, you will get one step closer to finding that deal every time. Next is having clean versions of your song, having the official stems, having the highest quality of these songs, and then owning your masters, your licenses, having the resources to give them in order to correctly place it in films. Because if it's a hassle for them, you're missing out on $50,000, $100,000, $20,000, simply because you weren't organized. You didn't have what they needed in a timely fashion. So you will be organized. You will have everything ready to go. You will have a clean version. You will have the beat by itself. You will have the official master version. Both, everything. You will have the license when they ask for it. If you don't, you're going to look it up on YouTube or ask your AI how to do it. Simple as that. And movies often come in bigger chunks, while TV shows can be recurring. So you definitely, I would advise you to explore that route immediately. And then if your music can't cater to any of those two things, challenge yourself to cater to it. Don't lose your heart as an artist. Don't water yourself down, but challenge yourself. I saw plenty of freestyles where Lil Wayne didn't cuss once, and this Lil Wayne. Saying that to say you can do it. You just have to put your mind to it. Think about someone else. Think about you watch the movie. If you hear N-word this, N-word that, blah, 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 F that, F that, F that, bruh, I do it all the time, but at the same time, in the movie theater, while he's driving his kids to school in the movie, and I'm on the radio talking about F, no, bro, we gotta put ourselves in the environment that our song is gonna be in. Next is advertising licenses. I don't know too much about this, but I do know that advertisements use music just like movies and TV shows. So the pay might not be as big, but it'll get your sound in front of more people, possibly getting it in front of someone who can place it in a sync record, a sync deal, meaning a film or a movie. And that also helps you, getting you paid there. Or it can make your streams go higher. And then I just got done talking to somebody, he's paying up front, so it's not royalties on the advertisement. It's an upfront payment. You get the license to use this. No complaints. Next, clothes and merchandise. This goes with the leverage that you hold as an artist, because with clothes and merchandise, your likability, your name is what sells your merch. So back to that under 1,000 monthly listener thing, under 15,000 monthly listener things. People aren't jumping to have your face on their show, even if it's not that, if it's more branded, more subtle. If they don't have a reason to want it, they're not going to get it. If you want them to get it, they're not going to get it. If they want to get it, they will. The way you do that is by being more sought after, having more streams, having more successful work, having better projects, and setting the standard higher and higher, and being something that people feel almost exclusive when they're connected with. So like when somebody has your clothes on and they feel like the girl they like is going to notice that and attribute that to you, be like, oh, that's what they on. Like that's how they feeling. They on that Drigo time. You know what I'm saying? They got that one look on them. It comes down to who you are as an artist. So like somebody wearing young boy merch, for example, ain't nothing wrong with it. I could just tell that you and young boy have a couple similar traits. And people are okay with that because young boy is a figure. He's a public figure that people respect and like. And that's what it's supposed to be. So you have to get to that point where people almost emulating you. And until you're that, or your clothes are genuinely just good, like, let me not give you conditions. Oh, you got to have a big name. You got to have streams. No. If you can genuinely just make a good piece, show a couple people, put it in the right hands, you're good. It don't even got to be music. You could take off through the clothes, and then your music is just, oh, y'all heard his music too? That's hard. So don't let my opinion box you in. Do what you can with what you have right now. And clothes, I was just telling my brother, the money in that is, think about streams. You don't make that much money off streams. But clothes, the profit margins can be way higher, especially if no one's eating at parts of your money. Since the profit margins are higher, the streams that you're already getting is just being pushed into bigger profits. It's being pushed into more markets because your streams are already going dumb. So to have clothes is just doubling up on the things that you can provide to represent who you are, to allow people to represent you. The more you let people represent your brand, the more you can be one with the whole and the whole one with you. Boom, 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 boom. And that's pretty much what merch is. So if you're not a man of the community, or you're not respected by the community, or you don't got good clothes, bump it. We almost through this, y'all. Internet virality is a rabbit because people try catching it, man. And you can't really put your finger on it. What I will say is internet virality is a good thing for an artist, definitely. That's streams, likeness. You're getting more attention to the clothes. You have the chance of being noticed by someone who can place you in a film or a movie, or someone who can perfectly explain the way their advertisement feels with your song. Virality gets you into rooms that you had no business being in, people that feel like you have more of a voice than you did yesterday before you was viral, simply because you're a public figure now. People see you in a different light. Now, why I say it's slippery is because virality doesn't make you good instantly. You could go viral for having a shitty song. You could go viral for getting exposed. You can go viral for going to jail. You can go viral for the dumbest things ever. Sometimes it's profitable. The thing is, do you already have enough work behind you for that virality to be a benefit to you? Or will people go behind you and scrutinize everything you've done? Because before virality, you weren't something. You weren't authentic to yourself. You haven't found your sound. So virality could be a double-edged sword. If it reaches you before you're ready, it could tear you down. It could gas your ego, and then you're still broke. You wasn't able to get monetized and the views drop off. Or everybody hears the song and nobody listens to it again. So let's get back on a better perspective as far as virality. Virality is great when you have videos, when you have a clothing brand, when you have an intention, when you have a history of growth, of positivity, not being a saint, but of respect towards others and respect for your own craft. That respect will attract others with that same respect. So even if you don't leave with 10 million followers, you're going to leave with 3,000 motherfuckers who all know somebody that also like your sound. So it's like, it's ever growing. It's constantly moving. But you just got to be ready for that. And you are going to be ready for that because you always working. You always working. You got this. I believe in you. You believe in yourself. And that's what it comes down to. Your perspective of yourself can drive away opportunities. A good opportunity can come. You don't even think you're worth that opportunity, so you think it's a scam. Boof, it's gone. Now you're wondering why nothing's happening. Your self-worth wasn't even high enough to receive what was meant for you at the time. And sometimes you have to learn the hard lesson of scams. Some people genuinely don't care about you. Have discernment. Pray. Lean on your subconscious mind. What that means is not overthinking things. If it feels right, if it lines up, do it. If it's wrong, learn. You didn't know it was wrong at the time, so you just learn. Chill. It's cool. Now, features. Features is pretty much an artist saying, hey, let me get in the studio with you, or let me get on a song with you, or come get on my song. And you have a price because your skill level will elevate any song you're on. Two, your name will bring more attraction to it would have previous than would have previously came to it without you. Or you have access to places, people, or just ideas that are sought after. So that's why feature prices vary so much. For you to set your own prices to not set your own skill level or your own worth of yourself, because in an environment where nobody can pay a price that you're setting, that might work against you because you ain't getting a little, you could be catching 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, but you waiting for the big fish, just waiting instead of being productive and taking the steps that lead up to that big fish. Then the big fish comes. Now it's two bands instead of just one you was waiting on. You see what I'm saying? So features come down to how well can you hustle? How well are you respected? Are you respected? Are you good at what you do? Do you love what you do? And are you willing to work with people when your ego is telling you everything else? Are you willing to be true to your craft? If you are, the collaboration is second nature. I'll let you know this. When you are a great artist, you can get 10K for a feature, 20K for a feature, 50K for a feature, 100K for a feature. The way you get that good as an artist is making a whole bunch of songs, writing a lot. And that comes with taking features at a lower price. So prove to yourself how much you truly love what you do. Next is engineering, which everybody who's been to a studio, you know what engineering is. You get in the booth, and they in there pressing buttons, mixing it, making it sound all good, making your voice crispy. They the ones getting scientific. An engineer is someone who makes your sound quality way better than it was before. So you can learn to engineer. It takes a setup, it takes some equipment. And when you can provide that, you can either build your own studio, let other people come and pay you to record, pay for your time, and you can mix and master your own songs, which will save you money in the long run. Because every time I go to the studio, I gotta pay dude 50 every time for 1 hour. He makes $50 an hour, and he loves what he does. That's a blessing. On that same train of thought, kinda on that same train of thought, is producing. To produce a beat is to almost put out a song, because producers usually make royalties, sometimes like half of everything on a beat they produce. So I buy it as an artist and put it out. 50% of all my royalties goes to them because they made the underlying portion of it. Without that beat that they made, the rap that I had would be whack. It had no backbone. There'd be no substance under it. That's the importance of producers. That's why they're able to, one, charge you up front to buy the license of the beat. Then, when you're successful, they make money continually on it because they're the reason you were able to make that track. So producing is a good investment, especially paired with engineering. Being able to write songs, engineer songs, and produce beats and rap, that's like a trifecta. That's nutty right there. When you think about all the major artists, people that have gone further than people imagine that they can, it's people who do a lot of that work for themselves, not out of necessity, but out of love for what they do and out of freedom. Because I hear so many samples that at the moment I currently can't do anything with. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a producer. I am going to be soon, but right now I'm I'm like restricted in that way. I'm constrained by my lack of knowledge and me not having the equipment to make beautiful sounds like that. Next is songwriting, like we were just saying. On songwriting, you can definitely make royalties and get paid up front because there's publishing and there's songwriting splits. So on the songwriting portion of it, the songwriter can always get a cut and should get a cut, especially if it was worked out in an agreement. I'm not exactly sure where to. There's websites. There's definitely websites. Just search it up. Where can people buy song lyrics? Where can I sell my song lyrics? You'll find them online. The best way is to raise your name and likeness, to get more people to hear you, more people to see your work, and that's more possible clients for you. So, sharpening your skill can be something that you end up selling. Like, you practice, 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 you keep all your practice pages, and you end up putting them up. You list them. You have songs for artists who actually like singing, who like rapping, who don't have the creativity to make new things, or everyone has creativity, or they just need a new flavor, a new taste that's from outside of them. They can come to you. Then you make money then and then perpetually, just like a producer. Next is ghostwriting. Ghostwriting is it's more tricky. In my opinion, and based on my knowledge, you're even more unknown than a songwriter. So a songwriter might make money on the track perpetually, right? And a ghostwriter might not even have their name listed in any of the credits. And they might not have their name listed on any performance rights organizations, BMI, ASCAP, whatever. And because of that, they're really a ghostwriter. So they just make all the money up front. And the rapper or the singer is going to take credit for all of it. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong. That's like a work for hire agreement. That happens often. But you're more of a ghost. And don't let me get it wrong because I haven't studied on that. I have not. So, you figure out for yourself. And if you know more than me, put it down in the comments. What are the main differences in the long-term pay of a songwriter versus a ghostwriter? In my opinion, a ghostwriter is just paid up front and you're forgotten. You're forgotten pretty much. The artists don't even want to hear your name. Like, let's say I'm in an interview, right? I'm in an interview. They're like, Rodrigo, and then they say, you my ghostwriter, you John. They're like, when John wrote that, John. What y'all know about John, bro? I don't know no John. I don't know no John. I don't know no John. I don't know him. That's what a ghostwriter's for. It's for you to take credit for it. And say, yeah, I did that. I'm him. Andre 3K. I heard a story that, what's her name? Erica Badu used to write songs for her baby daddy. She was a ghostwriter for all of her baby daddy. The Andre 3000 was probably one of them, man. All right, let's get past that. The last one is modeling. That sort of falls back onto that sponsorship with brands and businesses line, because when you're an artist with a good name and high likability, people online are going to see you wearing any brand. They're going to go get that brand. They're going to give those hearts to the page of whoever posted you. That's engagement for that brand. So everything you're doing is helping these brands or helping individuals or helping businesses. So to help with your case, stay fly. Get your haircut. I got to go get my eyebrows threaded soon. I really do. I used to do it with my brother, but so just keeping up with your hygiene and knowing people. I have friends who I asked them, like, yo, you got hard clothes. I'm about to shoot a music video. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I ain't had no money at the time to buy a new fit for this music video for me and my partner. And then him, he got these dope unreleased clothes. I'm like, yo, I'll put your clothes in my music, have some dope pictures, and people will come your way. People will ask where these come from. People will press on your ad. And in return, you give us something hard to wear. We had to give it back after the shoot, but we got what we needed. And that's pretty much the sense of modeling. Like, if he would have instantly gotten DMs, when people go and off rip show that they're interested, he probably wouldn't have asked for the clothes back. He would have been, oh no, y'all keep them because he's making sales. But that's not what happened. That's the importance of knowing the leverage you carry. Sometimes you can make, not sometimes, when you are at that level, you make them pay you to wear their clothes and take pictures. Whatever price you feel like, okay, they're going to give an offer. Don't be stupid and pass up an offer. But also don't underplay your worth. Discernment. There's a time for everything. So everything that I wrote down, I did cover today. I'm making sure to remind you all, drop it in the comments if you know any ways that I missed. Any better ways, any simpler ways, any harder ways. Regardless, this is for musicians, rap artists, singers, techno artists, anybody who's getting into making more money through their passion. Not only that, but building a business around it and actually considering themselves a business and brand, because that's what you are. If you're a musician, if you're a rap artist, once you start considering yourself as a brand, as an entity, as a benefit for other entities, that's when life will start treating you like that. So speak life over your career. Watch your words. And let me know how y'all feeling in the comments, bruh. We finna get into some things. It's gonna be an exciting summer. Been dropping skits. We gonna have to find a Fiverr editor because I don't even got the space on my computer, like I was saying earlier. So back to that train of thought. I got some work to do. Love y'all. Later.